So top 5 investments that I've made in my YouTube solo entrepreneurship career over the last 6 years. And I already know what you're gonna say, it's pretty cheesy. All right, just give me a break. But I'm just gonna go through it real quick and then I'll explain them. So first is seek the kingdom. So I'm gonna speak kingdom and then I'll translate it for the secular people in the world that don't speak kingdom language just yet. So I seek the kingdom, which basically means that I'm building my personal development and faith up, right? So I invested in personal development, say books, faith, that journey, figuring out myself, who I am, who I belong to, who's my creator, those things. Then I invested in myself by means of discovering what skills, gifts, and talents I naturally possessed that needed to get activated. And the way those skills, gifts, and talents were activated was when I was interacting with other business like-minded people, when I was social. So those of you who are antisocial introverts, like I was many, many years ago, eventually you're gonna have to put yourself into the uncomfortable place to discover where your true gifts really lie. And I'm still discovering more today. The more I put myself in uncomfortable positions, getting out of my comfort zone, another gift reveals itself, right? And it's really fun. It's absolutely a very intentional way of living. And then the third thing is the garden. So instead of, kingdom, I invested in the garden. In the world, that means I bought a home, right? So I bought a foundation. So I have myself a home, and this is contrary to your big real estate gurus out there that buying a home is not an asset and it's a lost cost and it's a liability and all this stuff. Okay, cool, whatever, right? To each his own. I get what they're saying from that perspective of tax and the liability, and it's a sunk cost and you're not able to create cash flow and all this stuff. For me, building my foundation, having a home, having a location, having a private YouTube studio, being able to work from home, being able to have peace, joy, being able to have an environment where my thoughts can flourish, where I can be in my most creative zone, happens right here on solid ground in the garden, in the kingdom, right? Absolutely amazing. The fourth investment that has been absolutely life-changing is social media. Again, contrary to what my elders say, social media is the future. I mean, it is here. It ain't going nowhere. And it is absolutely has got a stronghold on majority of the population of the world today, as we know it, and will continue to grow. So I chose to simply be a creator rather than a consumer in the social media world. I do consume content for pleasure, entertainment, joy, education, all of those things, yes. I also create more than what I consume. So I put more in than what I take out. That's a principle. Spend less than what you make. Many of you right now are spending more of your time on consuming rather than creating. So I urge you to consider that pivot. And lastly, again, I know these are super cheesy because you're like, Denzel, what about the crypto investments you made? What about that AMC stock that you bought at $3, $4, $5 a share? Yes, I did buy 500 plus shares of AMC stock. It'll probably go to the moon, who knows? Yes, I did buy crypto and I'm sitting pretty right now in the crypto space. Yes, I bought Carvana stock when it dropped to $4 and now it's at $130 plus a share and I made 10 grand on just that one thing. Yes, those are fun. Yes, those are cool. But relationship capital, the fifth investment, right? These are technically in order, but relationship capital is super powerful. Wow, life-changing, breathtaking, incredible. All right, what I mean by relationship capital is being able to network, connect, gain access to rooms you don't belong in. That's my generation of building relationship capital. Gaining access to rooms I'm not qualified, no authority, that I do not belong in. It's been a dream of mine since a very young age when when I could not get into things, when I could not access things because of lack of education, lack of knowledge, lack of money, lack of resources, lack of connections. It was like a personal pain that I just had. And maybe you're someone that suffers from this. Maybe being a minority, you feel like maybe you're rejected, maybe you're left out, maybe you're looked over on those resumes, maybe you're passed up on the promotions, whether it's the color of your skin, whether that's your belief or the cultural norms that you have in your culture that maybe you need to consider letting go, right? Or enhancing, improving, such as me being Puerto Rican. Again, there's a culture of laziness and tardiness that exists. It's there. I still have it till this day. I used to show up hours late to things. Now I just show up a couple minutes late to things, right? But again, the gap in the gain, look how far I've come. And there's times where I show up on time, man, and I'm proud. And there's times where I show up early. And it's insane how much money I've made in my career showing up on time and early to things that only I got exclusive access to, the VIP rooms, the introduction to the host, the introduction to the main speaker, getting that extra time or that extra opportunity, or even showing up so early that I was asked to then speak at the next event. I was then asked to serve, to promote, to share, to collaborate. Impactful stuff. So relationship capital, again, my definition, gaining access to rooms I don't belong in, that I have no credibility, no authority in. This is one of my favorite out of everything here. Principle wise, again, it's seek the kingdom, building yourself up, finding the garden, where the place where you can be your most creative, right? The highest form of wealth creation is to create. Putting yourself in a position where you can create new things out of nothing and make a massive amount of money, or just have an abundance of connections, of resources, of capital. So again, for that relationship capital, I'm gonna stick on that because that's just one of those things that I just absolutely love. It's super cool. When I'm spoken of in rooms, I'm vouched for, and I'm able to go into that place with less knowledge and less resources and less capital than everyone in that room, yet still bring value. That's incredible. To me, it's just it's a personal joy that fires me up. And just to close out on the social media part, man, I know a lot of you are out there listening, you're watching your favorite gurus, your influencers. You're scared to be that next person. I'm telling you right now, if you felt it in your gut, in your heart, in your mind, in your spirit, you're called to get in front of the camera and speak and share your experiences, your pains, your suffering, your tragedies, right? Your emotions, your skills, your gifts, your talents. I urge you to consider doing it. You're not going to be good at it when you first start. It took me hundreds of videos. I now have over 1,000 plus videos archived on my YouTube channel alone, not counting the other platforms. On my YouTube channel alone, over 1,000 plus videos. And I'm still learning and getting better. And I can honestly tell you, 1,000 videos, that's when you're just getting good. That's when you're just getting good. Your first 100, you're a novice. Your first 200, 300, 400 videos, all right, intermediate, still beginner to intermediate level. Once you get to 1,000, you're on your way to mastery when it comes to content creation. And I know that sounds crazy. You don't hear a whole lot of creators saying that because it's not sexy to say it. It's sexier to say how you can just, create content and go viral over one video and get all these views and DMs and tons of money in your bank account. Hey, that might happen. I'm not saying it won't. I've never experienced it, but through consistency, hard work, patience, faith, I was able to experience those commas in my bank account. And not just the money, the experience, the process, the joy of serving others, being able to provide a white glove service to your clients that absolutely changes their lives. Impactful stuff. I'll leave you with that. God bless. We'll be talking soon.